Have you ever felt this way? You feel like you have so many tasks to do, so many deadlines to hit, friends to hang out with, the ever-present question of where your life direction is going. And suddenly, time has passed you by so quickly that it's already December. And how is 2023 starting in 3 weeks? That's what I realized looking at my calendar today, realizing that time has passed me by in a blur. But here's the good news. There's been something that's been helping me meander through this feeling of not being able to catch up to the present moment. And I've been such a fan that I've been using this system for the last 6 years, going on 7. It's pretty simple, really. All you need is a blank notebook and a pen. And who would have thought that a glorified pad of paper could make such a difference in life? But somehow it has. I've tried so many alternatives. Passion planners, phone notes, Google Calendar, plain memorization, writing on backs of receipts. But I always come back to a blank journal and the bullet journaling system. Okay, so what is bullet journaling? Well, it's a system that was developed by a digital product designer named Ryder Carroll, who describes bullet journaling as an analog system designed to track the past, organize the present, and plan for the future. It's also become extremely popular on YouTube and Instagram and all over social media, and it's become a livelihood for a lot of people. It can be as simple and functional as you want it to be, or a creative outlet and use it as a visual journal or a scrapbook of sorts. So let me show you how I set up 2023. I'll also show you 4 extremely easy and functional spreads that you can use. And you can always add aesthetics to it later. Like many other things, bullet journaling only works if you actually do it. So stick to something simple when you're just starting or you're really busy. So let's put on some good tunes and grab a pen. I'm only going to be using a black pen to make this easy. I love starting a new notebook. The first page I always take to put my name down and then put the year down, followed by a page for grid spacing. Numbering the rows and columns on dot paper makes it much easier to set up spreads later on, as you can refer back to even spacing. You can also add a key that describes how you want to label tasks and events and when you want to move them. The next 2 spreads are my future log, which I use mostly as a memory jar for myself. I always really appreciate when I choose a photo and a song to represent each month and label any trips I take, so I can be sentimental about past years on just a few pages. Then I make a spread to write down my top 3 personal values and goals for the year. I reflect on these at the start of the year as it helps me reevaluate where I'm spending my time and if it's really aligned with what I personally believe. For example, my values are connection, curiosity, and impact. And some questions I like to ask myself are, how is my life meeting these values and where are they not being met? My 5th spread is simple. I leave space for a bookshelf as well as a music library. I make monthly playlists on Spotify along with album art for myself, so seeing them on one page reminds me of how the year went in terms of music. Okay, I'm very sentimental. And that's it for the general year. Short and sweet, but while I've used more in the past, this is all I consistently fill out every year. So now for the month of January 2023, starting basic, I'm making a monthly calendar along with a page to track habits and a highlight of the day. Writing down one good thing that happens each day really forces me to reflect on the days that tend to pass in a blur. I also write down a few habits I want to focus on for the month. Mine being to sleep 8 hours, meditate, journal, do physical therapy, and eat dinner. I'm back. And now for the weekly spreads. This is the most repeated part of the journal because there are 52 weekly spreads that you would make in a year. And I realized that if I put a lot of pressure on myself to make it look beautiful, I won't have time for it and I just won't end up using it. So instead, I've been asking myself what I need for the week. Am I stressed? Do I have a lot of deadlines? Do I have a lot of time that I want to doodle? And with that, I've come up with 4 extremely functional spreads that I use most often. Here's the first one. I'm going to call it the Super Spicy Overload. This is great when you have no time at all to set anything up. It's incredibly quick to make, especially if you refer to the grid spacing page. You just split each page into a quadrant and that is literally it. It takes 30 seconds. Number 2, we have the brain dump page. This is perfect for when you have a lot to do for the week. Along with a daily itinerary, I make these 2 big to-do lists where I can just brain dump anything I need to think about. Number 3 is the scheduler. This one's great for deadlines and events, as it leaves a lot of rooms for each day's tasks, but also a space that you can throw in any events you have going on. You can upgrade this and add an hourly breakdown of the day if that's useful to you. Finally, the scrapbook page. When I want to do something more artistic and I have a little bit more time in the week, I like to keep one page completely blank so I can doodle or put pictures on it. I hope you see how simple these spreads can be to make with just a black pen. Bullet journaling does not need to be aesthetic. However, if you have the desire to make it more colorful, it's actually really easy to add on to this. And here is the final flip through of my 2023 bullet journal setup along with my January setup. I find that just by spending a little bit of time reflecting about what I want for the year in terms of my values and my goals, creating a system to organize the present moment and everything going on in your head, and then finally using this journal as some sort of a memory jar to reflect on the past has been a really helpful way for me to reset. Best of luck to you. I hope this was helpful. Please leave a like if it was. And cheers to the last few weeks of the year. Thanks for watching.